This may sound fantastic, but it needs to be taken into account. We face a worldwide epidemic with the coronavirus, something like the bubonic plague, like all kinds of other diseases that we've had in world history that have decimated the populations. This could be even worse potentially. I don't want to be alarmist, but we know of already 80,000 reported cases in China, tens of cases in the United States. It's decimating the economy, the cruise industry, airlines, travel, a lot of other things. It's having a ripple effect. Notwithstanding the potential that tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people could potentially die from this. Now, we don't need to blame China. For whatever reason, it apparently came out of China. Maybe the sanitary conditions need to be better. In many countries, they need to be better. In downtown Los Angeles, they need to be better. San Francisco, there's feces all over the ground, hypodermic needles. This is a worldwide problem in terms of poverty and people getting sick and disease. But I want to raise this possibility. And most people won't because they'll call you crazy when you do it. But Larry Klayman doesn't mind being called crazy because, frankly, most of the time I'm right. I'm not Rush Limbaugh. I'm not that boastful, and he does it in a humorous way. And I hope Rush obviously gets better from his cancer because he's certainly important for this country, and he's a great hero. He deserved the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But that aside, pose this possibility. There are a lot of scientists out there now who think that we have been visited from ancient civilizations, either by way of UFOs and actual incursions into our airspace, or through things that were sent, maybe unmanned vehicles that had microbes on them from other civilizations. Now, take this into account. Could we be living in a scenario like H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds, when the Martians came and ultimately died from our bacteria and diseases? I pose this as a possibility because it needs to be discussed, and my radio show this week is going to talk a lot about honesty, full disclosure, telling the truth, not defaming people. But part of this whole thing is that we need to get the truth from our government. The government has denied, the American government, the existence of unidentified flying objects, of what happened at Roswell, where a craft was found, where there were apparently bodies that were taken to Air Force bases and put on ice, where there may have been one or two that survived that ultimately died. Why is this so fantastic to believe that this may have happened? And why do people always say, well, it certainly would have leaked if that was the case? Well, you know what? It has leaked. Not only does the government of Russia admit that they exist, not only does Great Britain, not only do other nations, but I want you to watch the movie. We need to come clean on this, because if indeed this is the result of an incursion into the airspace of the Earth from another planet or another solar system, we need to know it. Or if in fact it's generated here, we need to know that. We need all the facts laid on the table, because as it looks right now, this could be a worldwide epidemic of unbelievable proportions. We're just in the beginning stages of it, and it's on the verge of ruining our economy, our stock market, and everything else. It could create a black hole, in effect, in our entire way of life. So I think we better get this out up front, and we better bring in knowledgeable people who will tell the truth, and the government needs to come clean on what it knows. And that's my message for today, because, anything's possible in this world and in other worlds. It is inconceivable. I'm religious. I'm a Jewish Christian. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Father. But I don't take everything literally. And if God could create life on Earth, and if Jesus could have visited Earth, and he's still here, then why couldn't they have done that on other planets and other solar systems as well? He created the solar system. He created Earth. He created the sun. He created the planets. He created everything. So this is not heresy, but we need to come clean on these things, and this is something that we need. And that's why politicians need to be held accountable, because they're the ones that are in control of our government, and they lie to us on a regular basis. So that's my message for today. We'll be back next week with another podcast, but listen to my radio show this Sunday. You can find it podcast on radioamerica.com, on freedomwatchusa.org, on iTunes, on Spotify, on Patreon, on Facebook. Spread the word, because we need to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God, if we are to survive as a nation and if this world is to survive generally. Until then, God bless you, God bless the United States, and God save our great nation. Thank you for listening to me.